Hello, everybody. It is a lovely winter
It's
morning here in Chicago, and it's time for another episode of this fucking thing.
it is Free Run Friday.
By which we mean it is Sunday, but don't worry about it. Um,
Yeah,
let's just get right
episode
into
two of Free Run season two. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ! Like, I'm
it.
glad if nothing else, it didn't take long for the show to
Yeah.
give up on pretending that it was going to be like an okay season.
Yep.
Maybe
Yep. Yep. Yep.
like
Yep.
this episode is split quite neatly, in fact, into two halves.
Yeah, but
Uh,
before you say anything further, and I will let you summarize them because I'm bad at that, and I think you're better at it than I am.
I'll take it. All of my summaries are going to be like full of contempt, by the way.
That's fine. Uh, I am glad that we were as nice to the show as we could muster last episode. Because this episode fucking sucked, man. It was not good. Oh boy. Your summaries, please. Do
So,
us the honors.
like I think I'll just summarize one half and then we'll talk about that half, and
Yeah,
then we'll do the other
yeah.
summary
Because I think we'll
afterwards.
get through the first half pretty quick compared to the
Yeah,
second.
the first half involves, Freeman and the gang show up to a town. There's a statue of a hero. Stark is like, Nani the fuck is this? Um, and then Freeman is like, oh, that's the hero of the South. He's the strongest human in history. Um,
A,
but he didn't defeat the Demon Lord,
I
so
gotta
people
say,
forgot him.
the phrasing "hero of the South" is very video gamey and just not. I don't know. Something about it is just like, come on, like you couldn't have thrown in like a made up name in there. I mean, I guess not because all the names in Free are just German words, but
Yeah,
you know.
but look, whatever. Here's the hero of the South, and we're gonna get a flashback to Freyren meeting him. Um, and all that really happens in the flashback is he shows up, is like kind of recognized by Freyren, and says like the reason I'm the strongest hero is because I can actually see the future. Freyren's not really impressed because
Mm-hmm.
you know, she has no interiority other than her desire to kill demons. We'll get to that. Um, but the guy then says like, in a year I will be killed, without accomplishing anything. But then you'll meet this guy Himmel, and he'll change your
Yeah.
life.
I mean, okay,
Um,
to be fair, he doesn't say the without accomplishing anything part, but the show kind of leads us in that direction
no,
while
he says he will
insisting.
fail to achieve his
Yeah,
goals.
no, he does,
Um,
but well, doesn't he say something to the effect of like, "I will open the path for you" or some weird shit like that? He says something like that.
ah,
It doesn't matter given the context and the rest of the episode.
yeah.
Continue.
Um, fucking. Then yeah, we cut to a year later.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he fights the demons. He dies. Um, and then we see like Freeran kind of remembering him. Um, and that's borderline the end of that half.
Pretty
Um,
much. I mean, like we're leaving out some details here. There's like a bit where they show like some kids in the village like watching a puppet show, and the puppet show is very cute,
yeah,
but it is literally
yeah.
like a 15-second sequence. It is not a main focus of the episode.
Mhm.
It
It's a good way to do exposition.
it blows
Uh,
my mind that we are on the second episode of this season, which is only 11 episodes long, by the way. So keep that in
10
mind.
actually.
10, really? Did it get confirmed for 10?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, no, 10
Yes.
episodes. Oh no, it's Shiba Yugi. That's 11 episodes. My bad. Different show airing this
Yeah.
season,
Yeah.
starring a
Different
white-haired
shit with a
girl.
Yeah,
Different,
that's
much better show.
actually fucking good.
Different show we should be doing a podcast about instead. Anyway,
No, why would we talk about good anime?
but like, uh, so just keep that in mind. We're like a fifth of the way through this season,
Yeah,
and we already have an episode that is taken up in significant chunk by a flashback that then goes into a flash forward.
yeah,
But the flash forward is still a flashback because the flash
yeah,
forward is stuff with Frierenkvetching and Himmel. So it's like, okay,
yeah.
we're already two layers deep in this show's irritating fucking flashback tick. 2 episodes into the season. I'm not optimistic about the writing, like just not even the content of the writing, just the way that it's structured going forward. The content is
Also,
a whole other
like,
conversation that we'll get to in a minute.
oh, I want to get into the content like now because here's the thing, okay?
We're flashing forward to the
The
content.
hero of the South says that he won't be remembered, but then in the modern day he is remembered. So,
Yep.
it's not that his like future sight is like perfectly accurate necessarily. But he does like say, yeah, they'll kill me, I'll die. Nothing can stop it. Also, you'll meet this Himmel guy and he'll change your life. And it's like both of those things come true, and Freeran and Himmel is like the main thing that we as a viewer are supposed to take to be how Freeran feels as a person. Um, every single thing that motivates Freeran is to do with a lesson that was imparted onto her by Himmel.
Yeah.
So why are you like implying a fucking deterministic universe whereby future sight confirms
It's
that
so fucking crazy that
it's
a show that goes this hard on, by the way, time changes people. Like, that's the ostensible theme of Frieren. Like, it's easy to forget that because the show itself forgets it so often, but
yeah,
that is what the show is supposed to be about, and it's crazy to do that,
yeah.
and then reveal that, like, somehow, like, perfect future sight is a thing that works in this universe,
Yeah.
and then have that character do, like, all of that. Like, it's such a minor thing, but it's one of those things that it just feels like there is a lack of care that was put into this setting.
Like, I feel like him being wrong about being remembered was their way to like undermine the perfect future sight and have it be like,
I
but don't take it
guess,
too
yeah.
seriously. But it's like I still think that's dumb and stupid. And if you're going to like imply that his future sight isn't perfect, then have him die just fine. He didn't fucking like, he accepted his death or whatever. Don't do the Himmel thing, though. That's supposed to be such an important part of your setting. Like, you really care about that. That's why it happens every fucking 5 pages.
Yeah,
So just let that be its own thing, right? Like,
it's
we can just meet Himmel
yeah.
and he can be like a stand-up guy that really like rubs off on Frieren instead of having Frieren learn about Himmel
In
like a
advance.
year beforehand
It's
and be
so
told already like he'll change your life. It's like what the fuck are you doing?
like what
Why are
like
you
why
undermining the only part of the narrative that you're
here to
supposed to...
reinforce? Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It's very like this happens in shonen manga a lot, which Frieren is, where like they'll make the main character like somebody you're supposed to be able to relate to, and then later down the line they will introduce like a bunch of things that like retroactively make him the chosen one. Uh, I'm blanking on specifics, but there are a number of Naruto has gotten flack for this. Doing it in this specific way is weird, but it feels like one of those. It's also really hard to write characters with future vision, and I mean, credit where it's due, I guess, in not making him an important character. I can think of maybe one example of a character who is like literally omniscient, who was actually written in a way that's compelling that I can think of off the top of my head, and it's not in this fucking show.
My thing is future vision is more compelling the less deterministic it is.
Yeah,
The more you're able to change the outcome, the better. That's why
yeah.
you see
Or
Pokemon
actually,
Xenoblade
a
Chronicles.
second one, like I realize it's very passe to like compare a character from an anime to a character from a Western cartoon, but let me have this one time. Like Garnet from Steven Universe is a pretty well written example of this. Which Garnet's a main character. This guy's just some dude who shows up, so it's not a completely fair comparison. But it's weird to do this. Like again, I just keep coming back to like it. It's one of those little things, and his title is another one of these, as the hero of the South. The South of what? That's just
the continent. The continent, to be fair, they're going north as well.
I know, but like
I can take that part.
I don't
know. I know what Hero of the South implies. Don't worry about that.
I mean, I wasn't even thinking about that, but
look, Frieren's woke. I wish Frieren was woke. Anyway,
me too. But my point being, the setting feels like it has a lack of care put into it, and it's another one of these little things that, if it was one episode that was like this, or one thing in one episode that was like this, it would be very easy to write off, but it's not. It's many things over many episodes. Which brings us to the second half of this episode, which I am going to again let you summarize, because you're better at that than I am.
Jeez, I almost can't even get into the summary and finish it without complaining.
Please do your
best. What happens is
we will complain. Don't worry.
We get to Tyrant City Village or whatever, and Frieren is notably like fast paced. She's not taking her time. She ignores a magic shop, and Farron and Stark find it unusual. And then as they're observing this unusual, Frieren is greeted by a butler who says, Frieren-sama, hello. We are taken to the local Graf guy.
He's a Graf, if you are not familiar, is a duke or a count.
Yeah.
It's a nobleman.
So they've been using that one since season 1.
Yeah, I somehow failed to notice that until this episode, which is really damning of me, but anyway.
But no, the Graf is
actually, but whatever. No, go on.
Yeah, the Graf is hey, I have this powerful sword. Some demon stole it. I need you to go recover it.
Mm-hmm.
Frieren's okay, I'll do it for a grimoire.
I'll do it for a Scooby snack.
Yeah. No, it's real Scooby coded.
I fucking wish we had been watching Scooby-Doo instead.
Yeah. And then as we're walking there, Frieren observes that back with Himmel the hero, because everything in my life happened either then or now, and everything that happened now already happened back then anyway. This guy's granddad also had the sword stolen, and we also had to go kill a demon to recover it.
Yeah.
And that's why I didn't want to spend time in the town. But then, they show up. A mysterious lady appears. Is yeah, demons kill travelers. Let's pray. And then Frieren kills her because he's him Frieren. I did it again. Because Frieren is yeah, it was a demon and it was trying to trick us, so we need to kill it right now.
Yeah.
And they do, and then they go back, give the sword home. Frieren's really proud. She didn't want to go on the adventure, but she got to kill a demon out of it.
Yay! So. And that's the fucking episode. That's it. We left out you left out a few little details, but really not much. The killing of the demon is a whole fight scene.
Yes.
And, it's nice looking. I'll give it that. But God, I'm glad we were nice to the first episode of this season, because this entire second half of this episode just pissed me the fuck off.
Oh, by the way, obvious thing, but when they kill the demon, we also flash back to Himmel killing the demon.
Yeah, of course.
And Himmel be God, I fucking love killing demons.
Oh, it's way worse than that, because he has this placid smile on his face. He looks like a fucking maniac. It's
cards on the table, because we didn't actually really talk about this in the first episode too much. Yeah, we're on the boat of Frieren demons are just kind of Like, you can use the word racist, you can use the word anti-Semitic, just generally, like,
It's really
bad. Um,
it's not good.
I'm also
And
on record
yeah.
thinking that it is bad in a way that is also counter to the themes of the show,
Yeah.
because you could
Yeah, yeah,
literally just
yeah.
have they killed the demon lord. The demon lord was actually like subjugating a lot of demon kind. A bunch of them are like kind of good now,
Yeah.
because it's been 80 years since we did that after all.
It's
And it's
so
just a moment of Freeran can have an
yeah.
opportunity to learn that things changed. It's like, oh, that would be
It's
interesting. Because,
so it's so insane. Like you and I are far from the first people to like hypothesize about this writing tweak. Like, get one weird trick you could make to instantly make Frieren as a show and honestly as a character just make way more sense would be that. And the reason everybody suggests it is because it's so fucking obvious.
it's
Like,
obvious it's better.
it's obvious, and it would just be a better story. Like, I
Yeah.
get that people like there's this whole thing that goes around social media all the time of like, I want my bad guys to actually be bad. I don't want them to have sympathetic motives and whatever the fuck else people who only watch fucking Marvel movies say. Um,
Yeah.
like, and I have just never had any sympathy for that because like that's just not how anything works. Like, even people who are very, very, very bad people, if you go far enough back, there's some reason somewhere that they're
Like,
like
I don't.
that. And I'm not saying you can't have simple villains, right? Because like you
There are
definitely
shows with
can.
ontologically evil villains where it's like, that guy fucking rules. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Again, like the
Intentionally creating an intelligent group and constantly working to portray them as having like culture, intelligence,
yeah. Yep,
interiority,
yep, yep, yep.
and also they're just ontological
They're
evil.
just always evil and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Is fucking wild to still be doing that. And whenever I talk about this, I'm very careful to be like, I think the mangaka, I always forget his name. Let me look it up. Yamada Kanahito. Yeah, Yamada Kanahito. I assume this is just him, like, regurgitating tropes that he got from Dragon Quest, Record of Lodoss War, something, right? Like something like that. Which in turn that stuff draws from Western fantasy, which you go all the way back to like Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah.
There's a very famous early essay about Lord of the Rings about how the orcs are like kind of a problem in that because the framework of the story doesn't really make sense if you have races that are intelligent and thus capable of making moral decisions, but are also just always all bad. Like, this is a problem people have been grappling with in high fantasy for a century. And,
Yeah.
like, it definitely comes up in anime sometimes. I see it a lot in, like, isekai stuff, but even, like, the most basic ass fucking, like, Naruto series. Like,
Goblins
fucking
in anything.
yeah, no. What I'm getting at is like it's a common problem you see in a lot of this stuff, but also there's a lot of examples that just totally fucking lack Frieren, even stuff that people don't hold in high regard at all, like wrong way to use healing magic, which started in the same season that Frieren aired in, I believe, like the first season aired in. That show has a ton of problems, including some with how it writes its demons, but they're still portrayed at the end of the day as being like able of choosing to do good. So I'm sorry, but like that trumps this in terms of just basic character complexity. Um, and it's so wild to me that people pretend that this shows like morality is complex in any way. Like, I realize I'm kind of like going on a rant here, but
No, it's okay. That's the point.
it's just unhinged to me, where to see people be like, because there's a bit in here to bring it back to the actual show. There's a bit in here where fucking we find out that the sword was originally stolen from the demons.
Oh yeah, I already forgot about
which
that.
Is like
So
like
that's
okay.
interesting. The demons, you know, we kind of knew this anyway, but it's like, oh, so the demons also like discovered like, you know, blacksmithing.
Yeah, like okay, like you're telling me that
And the
these
same magic that the humans
yeah.
use and elves, like, you know,
Yeah,
they are
like you're fucking telling
as
me
much members of this world, of
yeah.
these
Yeah, yeah,
civilizations.
yeah,
They
yeah,
have
yeah.
stumbled upon many of these same crafts, but they're just bad, you
Like
know?
it's so crazy to me. Like you can't
Steal
have
their
it both
sword,
ways. You
kill
just
them.
like you can't have them both be just people with horns and then write them like this. You
God, I love the British
can't.
Museum.
Like I mean, like yeah, okay, like the British Museum joke, like it makes the characters seem like very colonizer coded, which
Yeah.
I again I want to believe that that's not on purpose, because if it is on purpose, that says some very bad things about the author. Um, but you know, like I like to assume that the best of people. I assume this is just somebody repeating mistakes of things that they've read and you know absorb those influences of. But
I mean, after all, the demons are actually the colonizers per
oh
fucking
god, yeah,
paperwork.
no, we can't be making like in-joke references to a fight that you got into on Tumblr, but no, that person was absolutely out of their mind.
Yeah.
But no, it's just like okay, because there's stuff that does deal with this in a way that works at least more than it does here, right?
Yeah.
Um like Dungeons and Dragons has a whole bunch of problems with stuff like this, and I am not saying that D&D is good at this kind of stuff. Just before I say anything else, but when they portray actual like demon ass demons, as in like embodiments of like negative human emotion and that kind of shit, they're usually pretty good about making at least those be like monsters. Like
Yeah.
they don't look and act and talk like people. Like they might be intelligent, but there's a difference between that and this. Like I'm not even
Again,
saying that that's good, but it's better than this.
like often it will
It's
just depend on your, you know, your genre, how serious we're expected to take the
mm-hmm.
story. Um,
There's definitely some of that too. Yeah, but it's so like if it was just this, it would still be like a big flaw in a show that was otherwise good. But because it's this and the lack of care in the setting, it
mhm.
just makes the whole thing feel so paper thin.
It
Like
also takes over the identity of the show so much, by the way,
yeah,
every time it
like
happens.
I not to refer back to my fucking review of the first season again, but one of the things that I put forward there is that there are two shows here. Like there's the show about moving on, and how like the passage of time changes people, and how you have to learn to carpe diem, like you have to live in the moment so that way your whole life doesn't just pass you by. um
Mhm.
and that show I mostly like, but a good chunk of Frieren is not that show. A good chunk of Frieren is this shit. like
Kill
it
all demons!
like it's I've compared it to a battle shonen anime, and it is like that's clearly what they're going for in the more actiony sequences, and the manga literally runs in a shonen magazine, so I think I'm justified in saying that. But honestly, that's an insult to a lot of shonen anime. Like
Yeah.
I can't think of any popular ones, at least, that have writing this bad. Like
Yeah.
even JJK, like people make fun of Jujutsu Kaisen, and I'm not. I didn't finish JJK myself, but the parts of it that I read were nowhere near this bad.
Yeah,
like,
no.
like
Um,
I have my issues with Gege's writing for sure. But he at least feels like he's trying to make a world. Um,
no, that's fair.
Arguably he
I'll
doesn't
give you that.
succeed, but like that's really kind of my actual problem with Frieren. Like my main problem is that it feels so low effort.
The other quick thing, by the way, is it's hard to attribute some of Giga's writing decisions. There's nothing there that you can really attribute to malice.
Yeah,
Whereas with
it's
Frierenkvetching, it feels like
you have to.
try, you have to try not
Yeah,
to.
yeah, you really
Because
have
it's
to.
so easy to just be like, how did you manage to, like, what the fuck are you doing?
You really have to be very committed to thinking the best of people, and I do take that pretty seriously. Like I I get annoyed when people label things that they don't like as being like for fascists or for Nazis. Uh
Like, something, never attribute to malice what can be attributed
yeah,
to
yeah.
incompetence.
Like I get very annoyed when people do that, and I don't like doing it with things myself ever. But
Yeah.
you really have to be very generous to be like attributing this to ignorance, or again just like rote repetition of tropes that the author has absorbed from other influences.
Yeah.
And
Did
if
we
it
already
seems,
mention, by the way,
yeah,
that, like, the entire reason Freeran didn't want to help the guy is because she had to help his granddad, who is a completely different
different person, yeah,
individual from
um
80 years ago?
like
I mean, Freeran's favorite thing to do is stereotype people as belonging to an ontological category based on their fucking DNA.
yeah,
So,
like
no, that was completely in
it's
character for him.
crazy. It is like the most racist grandma coded thing she's done so far, which is saying something. like
Yeah.
I just, if it seems like we're harping on about this, there's really not a lot else to talk about in this episode. Like
Oh, yeah,
there's
fuck all happens.
there's a very brief moment where I don't even remember where exactly it happens, but it's at some point after Freerin has finished one of her fucking fiery sermons about how all demons are evil. Fern says something to the effect of, is this really their nature? And she like looks all concerned. And if the show pulls on that thread, and that is an enormous if, that is an if that you could see from space. If the show pulls on that thread a little bit, and maybe we get into some actual questions about the nature of the setting, I'm almost positive that doesn't happen, but I would like to be proven wrong. Like again, we've spent the past like 15 minutes like really going in on this show for being bad. Like there's really no nice way to put it. Like the writing at
I
least
really
is
can't believe
fucking
how on the
terrible in this
fucking
episode.
nose her profiling the grandson is. Pissed
Like
on her granddad.
it's so like if you didn't write that deliberately to show that she's being a bad person in this instance, what the fuck did you mean?
Yeah.
Like that, like I don't know. I guess
It
I
happened
guess it's
once
supposed to
previously.
be. I guess it's supposed to be funny, but it's not. like it,
Yeah.
it's not even really framed as a joke. And there's a couple other things like you kind of alluded to this when you were recounting what actually happened. The subtitles, at least the English subtitles.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, when Frieren is talking about the demon, she immediately switches from using she to using it when she realizes it's a demon, which is fucking crazy. Like
Yeah.
that's like an instance of whoever's doing the subtitles understanding the show better than the person who wrote it did. Like,
Yeah.
give whoever's doing the Freerin subs a raise because they deserve it for
Yeah.
putting up with that. Um, like,
Such a thing as doing your job too well.
yeah, yeah. Um, it's And the thing that bothers me is that I know that a lot of people are. If you are a fan of the show and have somehow stumbled across this episode, first of all, I
I'm
don't.
not sorry, personally.
I wasn't going to apologize. What I was going to say is, I don't want you to think that we have some kind of problem with you. At least not, necessarily. Maybe if you're a terrible person for some other reason, then sure. But that's a
If
whole
you're
other
that person who was
conversation.
in my Tumblr mentions saying the demons are colonizers, I have a problem with you. But
Okay,
anyone else, like,
that
whatever.
doesn't count. But like like I don't have a problem with people who like the show. Like if you are able to turn your brain so off, and I've had people say this to me. This is not me stereotyping Freerun fans. If you are able to turn your brain so off that all of the shit that we just talked about with the writing and the demons doesn't register to you, and your whole takeaway from this episode is like, cool fight scene. I guess maybe you think it's fine, but like that's crazy to me. Like I just
Yeah.
I can't. Like not to sound like one of those people that constantly tweets about how media literacy is dead or whatever, but I can't make myself divorce the show from reality to that extent. Like I just can't.
I understand why people like the best parts of this show, but I cannot imagine, like, a person who is reasonably media literate and knows what they're talking
Mm-hmm.
about watching this episode and having good things to say.
Yeah,
Because what
like
is there, you know?
I mean, again,
And
if
even the first half, I think, sucks, but you can honestly, like, get more out of that than the second half. Because what is the second half in service of? Just killing a demon.
like I imagine in the manga these were two separate chapters, or maybe
Oh,
even a
yeah.
couple chapters. And in a manga that publishes weekly, there is some value to, again, purely talking about the structure, not the content. There is definitely some value to, like, here's a little episodic story to get us from arc to arc.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna say that this episode needed to be like a huge like revelation in terms of being well written, but like, are you, a serious question to the hypothetical Freerun fan listening to this? Are you entertained by
Yeah.
this? Like, actually, like I'm genuinely curious because like I understand
What did
getting.
you, the Free fan, like about this
Yeah,
episode?
yeah,
How did
that
you
is.
feel about every part we talked about?
Yeah, that is
When
my question.
Freeman profiled
Okay,
the
now we're
prince
getting
that baseball was
antagonistic. I'm
stranded.
not trying to
No,
be
I'm serious.
antagonistic.
When Freeman did that, was your reaction like, "Ah, that was funny"? Like, what happened there?
Yeah,
Because
which
I've had people lead me to believe that every single thing that happens in Freeman is like this intense, deliberate decision, which are all things that make it the best anime of all time. That's an important thing to remember. It's the highest scored. Um,
yeah, which not to say that Mal is automatically the arbiter of taste,
oh
because
fucking
if
god!
that was true, everybody would say that Gintama is the best anime ever made, and that's definitely not a thing people say. Not that there aren't many people who like Gintama a lot, but it's not nearly as
Yeah, no, Mal.
the Freerun phenomenon is a unique thing, is what I'm
Like we
getting
could
at.
make a video about the Mal top 50 or something,
We might
but
do that at
that's it.
some point, but yeah, no, but like I am seriously just asking because I'm so curious because I think what I like if I try to just ignore the writing, um, which is hard for me to do.
Also, a great thing to do for any show. Just ignore the writing.
Yeah,
It's
just
fine.
ignore like half of it. But no, like seriously, like if I try to just put all of that out of my mind, um, I think the little puppet sequence at the beginning is really cute. And the fight scene is like well done, although it's pretty short. But you know, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, do I even think that much? Because okay,
I don't really.
the other thing, I don't like the term sakuga, at least not how people use it in English-speaking anime fandom, but, it is what it is. The other thing that I'm watching this season that has a lot of sakuga, big quote marks, is Fate Strange Fate. And the Fate series has its own issues, so I'm not gonna, try to put those two bar for bar, although I would argue that Fate is way more creative and interesting even on its worst day, but that's a whole other conversation. Um what I'm getting at here is the fights that have been in that anime so far have been so creative and interesting on top of just being pretty to look at. Um Now I we're a victim of bad timing here slightly because I haven't actually watched this week's episode yet, but last week
Oh,
at least, there was a fight between a fucking vampire and a priest with a chainsaw in his fucking arm. That's
some
if
sort of
you're
chainsaw man.
yeah, which actually I don't know if this is true, but somebody told me that they got a guy from Chainsaw Man to do a cut in that fight as a stunt casting bit. I hope that's true because if they did, that's really funny. Anyway, um, but like I'm describing it poorly, but to me, even if you want to just take Frieren as a purely battle shonen thing, I don't think it stacks up that well against just other stuff in this sphere airing right now. Like again, the Face Strange Fake, or I know Jujutsu Kaisen is back this season and people love JJK, and I'm not super huge on it myself, but there's a lot of interesting visual stuff in that show.
The cut of the fucking Zenin guy, what the fuck is that? The cut of the Zenin guy, fucking punching the guy repeatedly in the face as he, brushes his own hair, will be more iconic than
Is very
anything that
funny. Yeah, yeah,
Frieren
no.
does, I think.
It's just I swear I'm not trying to be antagonistic. I just want to know. If you are Freerun fan number 5,000,000,003, tell
Yeah.
me what you thought of this episode, and if you liked it, I want to hear why. Not because I want to pick a fight with you, but because I just want to know where you're coming from. And I hope you understand where we're coming from, because it's, again, we're not operating out of malice.
You're
It
not.
is okay. Well, I'm not, at least. It is genuinely confusing to me that so many people like this show so much. It is not
No,
me
that's
putting
absolutely
on a
fair.
facade. I don't think I'm better than anybody for not liking it as much. It's just I legit don't get it.
Yeah.
And the explanations that I've heard don't make sense to me.
No,
So,
that's fair. I
I
really
mean, that's
cannot
kind of where I'm
square
at.
the. I cannot square a lot of the praise for Freeren with the actual experience of watching a lot of the show moment to moment. The things that people describe about Freeren as making it so compelling and
I'm
emotional and
gonna need you to
accessible
carry
and
for just a
powerful.
second while you explain this thought. I'll be right back.
No, that's fair. Um, the things I just said about, what the show does that people find so compelling and powerful and emotional and accessible, I don't think any of those things are strictly wrong, but I don't think they square with the actual experience of watching the show. Because you can sit there and tell me that, oh, Freerun, you know, not realizing what she had until it's too late, and how important it is to live in the moment and appreciate what you have around you. And, your life is finite, so use it well, use it kindly. I cannot square that with, a fucking an entire core of the shitty tuning exams, you know? Because nobody, when they're praising Freerun, talks about how awesome that stuff is, because it's not the appeal of the show to them, but it's also such a core component of the show, I cannot reconcile these ideas. Also, I think the show is fundamentally broken because why are we going to a place that is literally heaven to talk to literally Himmel, who is literally dead? But whatever, we're not gonna,
No
get
worries,
into that
Josh.
too
I'm
much.
back.
Welcome back. I just said the thing that I was already starting to say, and how I cannot square what people say about the show with what the show actually is like to watch.
Yeah, no, you've explained
Um,
this to me before. I'm with you there. Honestly, I go back to the whole "it really feels like two shows fighting each other" thing. Like,
yeah.
I think, like it's so lazy to talk about like, well, if I was in charge of this show, I'd do this, blah 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 blah. I think a hypothetical like good version of Frieren though would not have the demons like at all, and would just be about them like helping out with like little problems, like as is shown in a lot of the more interstitial segments, and maybe like having like other mages as the like main antagonists. Because when the show locks into that,
I
that's when
I
yeah.
I
No, you first.
hardly think the show needs antagonists, honestly.
That's fair.
Um,
What I'm trying to get at is like if it still wanted to do the battle shonen thing, I think that would be the way to do it because I'm nicer on the exam arc from the first season than a lot of people who don't like the show seem to be. I think that whole bit makes way more sense than anything with the demons. Like
no, that's fair. I'll
like
say my I think the only sequence involving a demon I liked is the first demon we like ever encounter is that guy who's petrified. Um,
yeah,
and then Freeran makes found it, and it's like, oh, humans operate so fucking quickly that the advancement of magic is such that your incredible technique is just like ordinary now.
yeah.
That was cool. And
It
also, that was
was.
just
And
one individual guy
yeah,
who was part of the Demon King's army,
army.
who was also petrified in stone so his values couldn't change, and he just happened to be a dick. So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, okay,
Like
I didn't see that guy get killed and think, does this show have interesting things to say about large groups of people?
yeah,
No,
like
I was just like,
it just
oh,
feels
okay, this is a
I one thing
nice
that I
sequence.
yeah, like one thing that I keep coming back to. Um and I actually don't think I mentioned this in the first episode. Maybe I did. Um one thing that I keep coming back to is that there was an interview where the guy the editor for the mangaka who wrote Free Run was like, yeah, the original plan was for it to be a one shot. Um, and
Uh,
like I convinced him to make more of it. And if that's true, and I have no reason to suspect that it isn't true, that kind of makes some of the problems make more sense. And it also puts that first thing with the demons in like more of a context because that whole encounter is so different from every other time we've seen demons in this show. Because not only is that guy like clearly an individual with a motivation to be acting the way he does, he also
yeah,
looks nothing like the rest of them. He's like a big like fucking like furry guy with like a mask, right? I'm not remembering that
yeah.
wrong, am I?
No,
Yeah.
like I've just got like a goat skull on his head or
It's
something.
something like that,
You
yeah.
know, traditional demonic imagery.
Yeah.
Um,
It looks like something out of like Diablo 2, which mind you has its own problems with this kind of thing a little bit, but you know. um it's just like if y'all had just stopped there. Like we could be having it would be like such a nice, like little two-part OVA or something. Which I mean, obviously that whole premise doesn't make any sense because if Rerun had only been those chapters, the manga would have never gotten adapted anyway, and blah blah blah. But I just I think back to that first bit where they introduced the demons as the show now deals with them. Um, in that one arc, and how so much of it just feels so, like, again, slapdash. It's just like, well, we need antagonists, and I didn't think of any beforehand, so demon time. Like, even if you just changed all of the demons into being specifically remnants of the Demon Lord army, with just the vague notion that there even could be demons that aren't like that, I think that would make it better. Not good, but better. I don't know. We can like really get into the weeds if we want to, but at the end of the day, again, it just all comes back to this whole thing of it feels written as it goes, which, I come back to that interview and I'm like, maybe it literally just was written while it goes. And some mangaka can really pull that off, and some can't. And I think the Frieren guy is in the latter camp, if that is the case. I don't know.
That's fair. I agree. Really.
This was a bad fucking episode, and I hope next week's is better. That's kind of the end. That's kind of the main thrust of things.
Because, you and I have agreed we don't need to do this every episode, although if every episode is like this, we're probably going to have to.
I'm going to be real with you. We did say that. I would like us to do every episode, but if we end up having to skip some, then, life happens. But
yeah,
we'll see how
I'm
things
sure we'll
go.
do most of them. There's only 10.
Yeah.
And to be fair, we don't generally watch if it's going to, like, cut close to me having to do, like, something else or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, the fact I still need to shower, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, just
shower. Just walk in.
Just shower while we're... Yeah, just shower while
Honest
we're in
to God, that is content.
Yeah, that's content. Scottish YouTuber complains about anime while showering.
Yeah.
Not clickbait, real.
Yeah. There's no video or anything, by the way. Like, you don't get that part.
No, it would just be this podcast, but there would be this loud sound in the background the entire time.
Yeah. And it would be better than Free Season 2 episode 2.
Alright. Look, I don't... If I have a closing statement, right? Making a story is hard.
Fuck Free-Run.
Alright, come on.
That's my closing statement.
I mean, look, you're entitled to that, and honestly, I agree with you. But, like, making a story is hard, and I am aware that...
Making a good one is even harder.
Yeah. Stop fucking cutting me off and being funny. I'm trying to be sincere. No, but, like, making a story is hard, and I am not out here being like, we need to fucking, fucking stone the author of Frieren because he made a bad story. Like, come on. Like, at the end of the day, we're talking about...
With him. I'm sure he'd be an interesting blood rotation.
But, like, at the end of the day, we are just talking about cartoons here, but I do think it is quite bad. That's kind of it, I guess. I don't know. I fumbled that outro, I think. But whatever, we'll see you guys around. Please keep me in your thoughts because it is currently 10 degrees in Chicago where I'm at. So that's cool. It's fucking cold.
Fahrenheit.
10 Fahrenheit, which is
it's like negative 20-something Celsius. It's colder than I've ever experienced in my life.
Yes, negative 12. Negative 12 Celsius. Yep.
Okay. Not as bad as it had been, but also, I mean, fucking horribly cold.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Subscribe.
Yep. Or we'll... I don't know. We need to come up with an outro for these. That's not the fuck your dad thing, because that's a mugcord bit. We can't port that over here.
Yeah. Subscribe or we'll delete all Farn porn from existence and we'll never get to see any of her again.
Real.